sun god Inti created Manco Capac, the first Incan emperor. He and his siblings emerged from caves and were paired as couples, creating a path leading to the Inca dynasty.
I thought they came from Lake Titicaca and their mission was to civilize the people of the world.
Yes, there are many myths and legends for how the Incas were created, but what is common in many of these stories is that the sun god created the first Incans, and the group traveled to find the promised land.
Right, that's where the golden staff comes in. These Inca founders would test the land with a sacred staff, and where the staff sank in, that's where they settled.
So they found Cusco, conquered the land, and established the Inca civilization.
Now that they were settled, the Incas needed to conquer the land in another way: farming. The land was complicated with its deep trenches and towering mountains, drenched rainforests and dry deserts. The Incas borrowed many of their techniques from other cultures.
The Incas learned to irrigate the land and work with the patterns of rain and drought throughout the year.
The altitude on some of the mountains is so high that the average person would become weak and dizzy. The Incas adapted to the air pressures. To study the Incas, we have artifacts, ancient ruins, and first-person journals mainly from the Spanish conquerors. The Incas themselves did not keep a writing system. They kept records using colored ropes with knots called quibus.
They used quibus to keep track of things like their census and who has paid taxes. In order to pay taxes to the government, jobs were assigned. For example, people would contribute a certain measure of rope for a bridge being made, or help to construct buildings.
The Inca civilization is recognized for their architecture. Enormous rocks fit together seamlessly, and they didn't use mortar. Studies attempt to explain the impeccable structures, like beating rocks with other rocks to form the desired shapes, and the use of a tool called a scribe.
A scribe is a stick with a rock that hangs straight down in order to measure angles. No matter what was used, the lack of any mortar or modern technology makes these buildings so phenomenal. The Incas are still honored and exploited in different ways today. There is a religious festival for the sun god called the celebration of Inti Raymi. The last celebration with true Incas was in 1535 after the Spaniards conquered and killed the king.
This celebration was banned by the Catholic Church in the late 1500s, but later revived by Peruvians in the mid-20th century because of its cultural and historical importance.
The Incan civilization is also exploited through modern media. Disney created the movie The Emperor's New Groove in the year 2000. Mel Gibson entertained audiences but was not historically accurate about the Incas in his movie Apocalypto.
Some people, like our friend Cesar Villalobos, still play the music, enjoying the Incan culture today.